Good morning, students. The topic which we are going to start in business studies today is the business is in national environment. So concentrate yourself. This is very important topic. So economies tend to grow in size over time. This is quite obvious. Some businesses have benefited more than others from this growth. Many service industries such as health or catering have grown faster than the average for the rest of the economy. So this is again quite obvious. All the firms in an economy are not growing well at the same pace. So this is the point. Consumers have switched to convenience foods like crisp or the healthier foods like fresh fruit. This overall growth in the economy is uneven. So this is the point. Economy is always uneven in growth, in boom or in recession. So the next point is when the economy is in boom, it is growing very fast. Spending is high and unemployment falls. So definitely when the economy is in boom, everyone is having much money in their pockets. They will spend more on purchasing the goods. So firms will do well. Their products will sell more. So it is growing very fast. Spending is high and unemployment falls. Businesses tend to do well in a boom because it is easier to sell products. And there is also a reverse case that is called recession. In a recession, the economy does not grow or even shrinks. Less is spent and produced than before, and unemployment rises. Because in a recession, everyone is doing bad. They have less money in their pocket. Businesses are not doing well. So when the economy is in recession, everyone will be bad. So businesses tend to do badly because consumers are buying fewer of their products. The next point in the lecture is the inflation. So this is the definition of the inflation. Inflation is a general rise in prices in the economy. So this is the general rise of prices in the economy. So this is the definition. Businesses lose and gain from the inflation. So this is going at the same time. Some firms gain from the inflation and some firms lose from the inflation. So they lose because, so this is the first point, why businesses lose. They lose because their costs go up. So this is the reason. Raw materials will be expensive and probably they have to pay its workers more. Workers will want higher wages to pay the higher prices in the shops. So if the prices are going up, firms may lose because of some reason. First reason will be the prices of the raw materials will be higher now, and they have to pay more to purchase the raw materials. And number two, the workers working in the firm will demand higher wages because they have to meet their demands in houses, and so that's why they must have higher wages, and so they will demand higher wages. Businesses can also gain. So this is the reverse point. Businesses can also gain from the inflation. If prices are rising, businesses is likely to be able to put up its prices to its customers. So if the prices are rising in an economy because of the inflation, so firms will be able to put up their prices to the customers, and they will be able to charge higher prices from the customers. So in this case, they will gain from the inflation. Higher prices should mean less sales. This is quite obvious. If the prices are rising, so less sales will be there. But if all businesses are putting up their prices and workers are getting higher wages, then sales for a business should stay the same. So this is another point. If all the firms in an economy are united to put up their prices to the customers, and they are united to keep the prices at the same level, not uneven, so customers will be forced to buy the product at that particular price, so their sales may stay same. The next point in the lecture is the taxes and the government spending. So these are two different things. One is taxes. We will discuss the effect of the taxes on the people or on the firms. And second point which we will discuss is the government spending. What will be the effect of the government spending on people and firms? So first point, first definition is fiscal policy. That is decisions that government makes about its spendings and taxes. So decisions or policy that government makes about its spendings and taxes is called fiscal policy, affects all businesses. So the first point which we are going to discuss in this is the taxes. For instance, the government might lower the taxes on people's income. So the point in taxes is, first one is lower taxes. So if government decide to lower the taxes on people's income, that is income tax and or the national insurance contributions, as a result, people will have more money left in their wage packet to spend. They might spend more at the supermarket or on holidays. So if they are spending more on supermarket and holidays, so definitely the supermarket and the tourist companies will benefit from it equally. They might decide that they can grow, they can now afford a larger house, for instance, benefiting the construction companies. So here we have discussed that if government has decided to lower the taxes on people's income, so definitely the peoples will have much more money in their wage packet now, because they have to pay less in terms of the taxes, so they will spend more, and on the products they are spending more, those companies will benefit from it. And there is the reverse case of it is also. For example, if government has increased the taxes, so the government might also change tax rates on goods and services. Value added tax has to be paid on most products. So now the case is government is making higher the taxes. So in this case, an increase in the VAT would hit sales of the products like television or the clothes. So the companies will affect now, because people will have less money on in their wage pocket after paying the taxes, because taxes is higher now. So they will spend less on in supermarkets, in tourism, in etc. So the companies will be affected badly in this case. The next case which we are going to discuss is the government spending. So a general increase in government spending will mean more spending in the whole economy. A significant increase in the government spending on housing for rent might give construction companies a business opportunity to expand its operations in future. So this is the case if government has decided to increase its spendings in the economy. For example, increased spending in the housing societies for rent. So the companies which are related to the construction will be benefited from this policy, because government has increased the spending on this sector of the economy. So this sector will get boom. On the reverse, a decrease in the defense spending, in contrast, might hit the manufacturing of the weapons. So this is also true. The next topic in the lecture is the interest rates. So now we are going to discuss the effect of the interest rate on the customers as well as on the firms. So the most businesses borrow money. Rises in interest rates usually add to the cost of the businesses, because it will have to pay more in interest on its loans. A fall in the interest rate, on the other hand, means lower interest rates. So if the interest rate is low, so firms have to pay less in terms of the interest rate. So they will have more money, they will spend it on different activities inside the firm, so the firms will get better. On the other hand, if interest rate is getting higher, they will have less money after paying the interest, so firms will feel bad. They will have less money in spending on spending different activities. So this is the case for, this is the effect of the interest rate increasing or decreasing on the firms. Rising interest rates also affect the customers of a business. The mortgage rate, for example, is the rate of the interest on money borrowed to buy a home. If it goes up, then repayments on the loan to buy a house will increase. This will discourage people from buying a new house. So this is an example. This is the effect of the interest rate. If it gets higher, the effect on the customers in this example we have discussed. So construction companies could be faced with falling sales. A fall in the interest rate will have the opposite effect. It will make the repayments on the buying new car, some new furniture or a new home falls. So car and furniture manufacturers and construction companies should be benefited. So this is the reverse case. The next point in the lecture which we are going to discuss is the population. So now we will discuss the effect of changing structure of the population and the movement of the population from place to the other place on the firms and on the customers. So the population of the UK is fairly stable. This might seem bad news for a business, but people are buying new homes. One reason for this is that the structure of the population is changing. There are more old people than before living on their own. So this is the first reason. More old people are living on their own. So they are living independently. So this is the one reason there is more need of the homes in the England now. The number of the single parent families has increased divorce rate have split up families. So this is another reason. So the number of the household has increased as the number in each household has tended to fall. Each household need a home. So construction companies and relevant services providers could sell more. So this is the benefit of changing structure and changing the life pattern in England or in some country where this kind of thing happen. Changes in the structure of the population can have effect on other businesses. In 1980s, for instance, a fall in the number of the school-age children mean that there are many schools closed. Rising number of those over 75, on the other hand, increased the business opportunities for the retirement homes. So this is the another effect of changing the structure of the population in England. Number one, the number of the school age children has fall. So many schools close. So this is the effect on the schools. On the other hand, rising number of over 75 has increased. So the business opportunities for the retirement homes increased. So these are the effects. Businesses may also benefit from changes in the population where people live. So now we are going to discuss the movement of the population now. So for instance, over the past 20 years, the number living in the southeast of the England have gone up. But the population of the Merseyside area has fallen. So more homes therefore need to build in the southeast and all other things which are required by a settled area. So this is the effect on the businesses of the movement of the population. The next point in the lecture is we are going to discuss the effect of the government regulations on the businesses. So the government imposes many constraints on the businesses. For instance, health and safety laws have to be complied with on businesses. So this is the first effect. The policy which government has made about health and safety laws should be has to be complied with the businesses. So businesses have to obtain planning permissions from the local authority to build new offices, factories, etc. So this is another effect of the government regulations on the businesses. Next is consumer protection laws determine how businesses can market its products. So this is another effect. Other laws fix how the purchase of a product should be completed. So this is another effect. So these are some effects which are actually having on the businesses because of the government regulations.